Hey friends, Sarah here with the Holy Mess and Faithful Finish Lines. I have lost 100 pounds and am maintaining that weight loss, and today in this video I will be sharing rapid fire style 10 answers to 10 questions in 10 minutes. So let's do this. So these are all reader questions that people have sent me. If you have a weight loss question, leave it in the comments below and maybe I can get to it in the next video. There's going to be a next video because I still have more questions, which I think is so fun. So this first one is from Kayla C, and she said, when you got to your goal weight, what were your first steps to start to maintain? Well, first of all, I didn't really get to my goal weight for a lot of years. I ended up staying, I was like 20 pounds over like what Weight Watchers would say or a typical chart would say. I just couldn't get there. And so that was frustrating. And I kind of went back and forth of like, should I try to lose more weight? I couldn't really lose more weight. And I really focused on exercise during that time. That was very motivating to me to have different exercise goals, like to finish a triathlon and then finish a longer triathlon and then an even longer triathlon. And I did these really long charity bike rides that were so motivating to me. And then I got my Taekwondo black belt. So it really helped to have something else to focus on since I wasn't getting to my goal weight. And then last year, I actually lost more weight, broke the plateau, did get off my goal weight, and I can post a link to that post of exactly how I did it. But I'll just tell you that maintaining is just like weight loss is. Like, I eat the same foods, I do the same exercise. There's nothing magical that happens when you get to maintaining except that the scale stops moving. And some people add in some extra calories. Some people find that they really can't. They really kind of stick with what they continued to eat as they lost weight. I've added back a few calories. I'm using Weight Watchers, so a few points, but pretty much eating everything I always have and doing what I always did. Next question says, also from Kayla, did you feel and know you looked different from the start to the goal weight? Did your mind play tricks on you? Oh, yes. I couldn't really see my weight loss at first, and people didn't start to notice until I had lost about 40 pounds, and then really noticed when I'd lost 50 pounds, and that really played with my head for quite a long time. I appreciated the attention and the compliments, but then it made me really nervous too, because I had this fear of failure because I had lost weight so many times before and then I always gained it back. And I was so afraid that they would see that, like, what if I gained the weight back? It was just almost this feeling of being exposed. I've got another blog post about that too. I'll post that too, but definitely I had that. And I'm just now, like 15 years into this, getting to the point that I don't go to the plus section to look for clothes anymore. So there's still a part of me that sees that overweight me and maybe always will a little bit, but it's gotten a lot better. Okay, number 3, what were your best foods for weight loss and maintaining? Number 1 is vegetables. I'm a huge fan of vegetables. I include vegetables at almost every meal, a lot of times even my snacks. They're just so low in calories. They're so good for you. They give your body that nutrition. So usually half my plate is vegetables. And then the other big one is protein. Protein helps so much with hunger. And I'm even still learning about how important this is. A breakfast with a good amount of protein. So 20 to 30 grams of protein, super important. And then having protein in every single meal or snack. So a snack, maybe 10 to 15 grams of protein, and meals like 30 grams of protein makes a huge difference in my cravings, especially at night, and my hunger, my physical hunger. Number 4, did you find over the course of time that you had no foods? Well, yes. I definitely had certain foods when I first started losing weight. I could not keep them in the house at all. Lots of certain types of ice cream. For me, it was Edie's French Silk. Oh my gosh, I binged on that so bad. And then the drumsticks, ice cream cones, I would eat a whole box of those over the course of a couple days, like the 12-count box. So I could not have those in the house. Cereal, I really couldn't have in the house when I first started. Frosting, peanut butter can be a big trigger food for me. Although I do have it in the house, I really limit how often I eat it. So some of those have changed. Like I had a box of cereal that I actually threw away not that long ago because it went stale. And I was like, what is this? Who is this Sarah girl? I used to eat cereal like by the bowl, and it was like, well, I have to have more. I still have more milk, right? So that food is not a big issue for me anymore. I can have cereal in the house, I'm fine. Ice cream I can have in the house, I'm fine, which I find amazing because I'm just such an ice cream person. I don't typically eat regular ice cream. I tend to eat like Halo Top or something like that, but my family almost always has ice cream, regular ice cream in the house. But other foods, I still have to be really careful. Like frosting is a big trick. Like I could just sit and eat a can of frosting, no problem. It is so good to me. Peanut butter, I have to be really, really mindful and careful. I weigh it on a food scale because otherwise I'll just sit there in the pantry and eat spoonfuls of it. Nutella, that can be dangerous for me. So I've come a really long way, but I still have other foods that I have to be pretty careful. Okay. Carol says, how did you deal with celebrations or going out for ice cream with family and not feel guilty? Well, I don't. I don't think I've ever really felt guilty for indulging in foods. Like if I'm at a wedding, I have a piece of cake, I don't feel guilty. I've more struggled with just staying in my calorie goals. Like I'll tend to, especially foods at home, maybe not so much out, but just eating one tends to want to lead to more and eating more and eating more. And so I have to be really mindful and careful of that with those certain foods, but I don't feel guilty. There's no food that's like off the table for me. I'll eat any food. And then Candy asks, how do you keep from negative self-talk? This is something I've been very, very intentional about. It's so important to me. I journal every single morning and I have time in prayer. I read a Bible verse. I say positive Christian affirmations, and I have a blog post about Christian weight loss affirmations that I can share with you. I really believe in that Bible verse where it talks about taking your thoughts captive to obey Christ, that I can't just let my thoughts run amok, because if I let my thoughts run amok, I say it's like a room full of 2-year-olds. Everybody's running around, but pretty soon somebody's going to get hurt. So I need to be very mindful of my thought life and my mental health in these things. So I'm very intentional about the way that I talk to myself. Hannah asked, how do you stay connected with your why? Beautiful question. This has been such a spiritual journey for me, such a growth. I was a confident person before, but now I'm such a more confident person, a positive person, and I choose to be optimistic and positive, and I'm a different person. I mean, I'm a black belt. I've done triathlons. I have this business now. I run Faithful Finish Lines together with my business partner, Becky, so that being this healthier, fit person is who I am. It's not something that I've accomplished and then sort of set aside on the shelf. This is an integral part of me, Sarah, who I am. I can't separate this from who I am. It's part of who I am. I stepped into being this new person, and that is my why, being this new person that I am. Okay, Terry asks, my question is, do you have extra skin issues after the 110-pound loss, and what did you do about it? I'm 64 and my skin hasn't the elastic anymore. So yep, I've got it. I've never showed it on video. I'll show you guys some, on my arm. I've got pretty good muscle, but then that flapping stuff down there, it's actually really not fat. It's really more skin. And then, I don't know if you can see, I don't know in the light, but it sort of melts down the inside of my arm. I saw a lady had posted about her loose skin. She's like, yep, that's my melting arm. I'm like, oh, that's what mine looks like too. So my arms actually aren't too bad, but I do have a lot on my legs, like my inner thighs. I have not had surgery. I have not even had a consult for surgery, but I think if somebody wants to do that, that's awesome. That's just not been where I've chosen to go. I know that my insurance wouldn't cover it. It'd be really expensive, and my body doesn't like anesthetic very well. So I've chosen not to go down that road, but maybe at some point I would. I haven't had infections or anything, but it is a pain, it does show, when I wear shorts or when I was cycling a lot, I had to wear compression shorts because my skin would actually catch when I was going over the bikes, putting my leg over the bike seat. But, all in all, it's no big deal. The way I look at it is the loose skin won't kill me, but being overweight definitely would kill me. So, it is what it is. Gina asked, do you ever struggle with menu ideas? Do you have menu plans that someone can follow just to get started? Yes, Gina, I do. I actually have a number of menu plans on my website for Weight Watchers, and even if you're not doing Weight Watchers, they're like super healthy, basic. They don't have any weird foods or anything like that. The stuff I eat is really normal, like tacos and spaghetti and stuff like that. So you can check those out. And menu planning is definitely really big for me. I always plan out my meals for the week. In the past, I've done a lot of freezer cooking, which was a huge help when my kids were little and running around. Now I do more, like I just plan the week ahead, and then I tend to eat really similar things, breakfast and lunch. Breakfast is almost always eggs and vegetables. Lunch is usually leftovers, but I have a few things I always keep in the freezer. And then healthy dinners where I really focus on that protein and vegetables, sometimes add a carb, sometimes not, and then there's some treats here and there, and then that's my day. And I always plan the night before. Always, always, always. And then number 10 from Peggy B said, what do you do on the road for food? And I love this question because I'm going to be traveling here in a few days. I travel here and there to visit family and for different business things. Not so much lately, but I'm going to be going to Illinois in a few weeks to work on settling my mom's estate, and traveling to see friends. So on the road, I always take food with me in some shape or form. If it's flying, it might be like protein bars and little individual packages of nuts. And then when I'm even like at the airport, you can get like hard-boiled eggs, you can get bananas, apples. There's a lot of healthy foods. In the car, I'll bring those things with me. And then when I get there, if I'm staying at somebody's house or like at a hotel, I might shop, or I might, even like just go to Walgreens and pick up a few things and keep them in the room. So there really is so much that you can do. As far as fast food, I have a few fast food go-tos. I like the McDonald's Southwest salad. I like Wendy's salads. You can get a Happy Meal. That's usually a pretty reasonable portion. Burger King has a veggie burger that is really reasonable in calories or points. Not the new one. That was the older one. I don't know about the Impossible Burger. I don't know if they still have the old one. I used to do that. Places like Panera are great. Chipotle, if you order well. If you don't order like the burrito, the size of your head. But if you get like a burrito bowl, or sit-down restaurants, a chicken breast or steak, vegetable, most restaurants have something similar to that, like a sirloin steak. Some places a sirloin steak is lower in calories than the chicken breast. So I'm like, hello, I'm getting the steak. So just look at menus before you go, and you can totally do it. So I plan ahead as much as I can. Sometimes you can't totally plan ahead, but as much as I can plan ahead while I'm on the road, I do. Okay, so those are our 10 weight loss questions in 10 minutes. I'm Sarah with The Holy Mess and Faithful Finish Lines. Thanks so much for watching. If you have a question for a future video, leave it below and I'll add it to my list. Have a great day, you guys.